Tony's Tractor Adventure.
We've had several people ask us to do a little walk around on our new tractor. Let's do that now. The T264 by TYM Tractors is a 24 horsepower tractor with it's a Coupe J engine in it, and they have a long running relationship with Cummins. It has a two range hydrostatic transmission. The loader is rated at 1,387 pounds, and that gives us a lot of flexibility for other attachments. The skid steer quick attach, it opens easy. It's convenient, and it'll let you have a lot of different attachments for the front of the tractor. Closes back just as easy. I have the Worksaver Pallet Forks on now, and this is probably my favorite attachment of all attachments that I can get. They're so versatile. We also have the Worksaver Grapple, and this thing weighs about 205 pounds. That's going to leave us about 1,200 pounds that we can lift with our tractor. We're going to install this grapple this week, and I'm going to show you guys step by step how I do this. I'm going to show you all the blunders, so we're going to do this together. We're going to install it on the T264, so y'all keep a watch out for that video. It'll be coming out soon. This is the 60-inch bucket from TYM. It's reinforced at the top. It's welded at the bottom with a cutting bar. It's a real heavy bucket for homeowner use and light farm use. This thing's going to last for years. It also comes standard with a bucket loader indicator. That's what this little rod does. When the bucket is flat, this little rod will set in the center of this indicator. It'll fall down in that little groove. There's one thing on the loader that I'm finding I like a lot better than I thought I would. The loader connections are on the top, and you leave the hoses with the tractor. Well, at first I thought that was going to be kind of awkward, but when you take the hoses off, you just wrap them around the loader arm. I'll show you a little picture of that. And what makes it so nice is that they're at your chest level. Some tractors, they're down behind the arm, and you're trying to work in this little confined space. This comes off so easy, and because it's level, you have the strength to push them together here, instead of trying to be all contorted behind the tractor. All right, once we got our lines loose, all you're going to do is take this and wrap your hoses around this arm, and then you're going to take each one of the lines and just put them in behind, so it's kind of like a knot. After figuring out that I just wrap those hoses around and stick them back together, that's very convenient. It doesn't come loose. But what's beautiful about it, instead of leaning over behind the tractor on like a lot of brands, you got a little cramped space to try to plug these in. These are up even and level with you. It has what I would call a soft start PTO. This is just the gear here to have it in or out of range if you want to. So if you want to turn the PTO on, it'll be that's on, that's off. So when you want to turn it on, you have that engaged, and then you just push the button. And when you push the button, the PTO spins up very slowly and doesn't hammer like so many of the other tractors do. Many of the tractors on the market right now, when you push the PTO button, even at a low idle, it's a very violent action. And with the TYM system here, it doesn't put all the stress on your tractor or your implement. This is your transmission range lever. It's on your left side of your leg. It's low to the front, neutral, and then high. This is your four-wheel drive lever. It's off here. It's engaged here. I found that this is pretty well synchronized, so as you're going through the yard and you need a little extra oomph, you can just rotate that up while you're rolling. You can just kind of feel it as you push forward. You'll just feel it just fall right into the gears. So I don't know if they would call it synchronized, but it surely works. All right, the brakes are located on the left side of the tractor. It has left and right brakes. If you want to use the brakes independently, you can just flip this lever over. And like if you're coming to an end of a garden row, you can just push your left or right brake, turn into the side that you're braking, and the tractor will almost spin around in its own space. To engage the parking brake, you push the brakes down on the left side, and then you just pull up on this lever. And then your parking brakes are engaged. The seat belt's located on the left side, goes over to the right side. It's pretty much like any other seat belt you'll find on any tractor. It's convenient. On the left side of the instrument panel, you have your lights, and you actually have turn signals and got a little horn, but you got to have the, let's turn it on, we got to listen to it. I love that. Got your RPM gauge here. It has a little green mark. It tells you where, I guess it's about 2,700 RPMs. That'll give you your PTO at 540 RPMs in the rear. Then you have your fuel and your temperature. And then in the center is a console with all the different lights for example, if your oil pressure drops or you overheat, your glow plugs, all the common stuff. Right behind your left heel is the lever for your inner axle lock. What you do is you take your left heel while you're moving, you place your left heel down and push down, and what it will do will engage your inner axle lock, and that makes sure both rear wheels are pulling at the same time. Otherwise, it'll be disengaged and you'll be able to turn in your yard without tearing your grass up. Okay, on the right side of the tractor as you're sitting on, you have your throttle. Now this tractor has what I call auto throttle. It's the faster you push your hydrostatic pedal down, forward, or reverse, your throttle increases. But sometimes, like, that's great for loader work, but when you're using a loader to go in and out of something. But when you're running your rear mower or your rotary cutter, you'll want to push your throttle up here and get your RPM up to the 2,700 RPMs on the engine, and that'll make your rear PTO be turning at 540 RPMs. So you find that spot here on your hand throttle, and then you can go along. Right beside your right leg is the 3-point hitch lever. Here, up and down. Now this lever, or this 3-point hitch, has what they call position control. So if you pull this lever to the midway point, the 3-point hitch will come to the midway point. Wherever you put it back each time, it'll come back to the same place every time. Some of your smaller tractors, they don't have that feature. That's generally in your little bit larger tractors. So that's a nice feature, nice touch for this tractor. This is a loader control. It's embedded in the fender well of the tractor. It's absolutely, for this size tractor, it's just about perfect. The only thing I would like to have on this, and I may at some time do it myself, I would like to have armrests. I think if an armrest was here, it would be just about perfect. It still would, you could still reach in and grab this around your armrest. The throttle will be out of the way. I think an armrest would be cool. I may look into an armrest seat at some point. Right below the steering wheel on the right side, you have your hazard lights. You just push that in for your hazard lights. Also here, you have the cruise control on and off. Now the way this works with the cruise control, you'll take your right foot and you'll place it on the hydrostatic pedal. You'll push down as far as you want and get your speed that you're happy with, like if you're bush hogging. And then you just click this on button and it'll hold that speed. You can see the brake lights are located here, and I'll go ahead and hit those for you so you can see. And then the hazard lights and turn signals are located up here, and I like how they're pushed in on the inside. They're protected by this bar, and it's not as likely for something to come along and hit them like on some of the other tractors that I've had in the past. The rear 3-point hitch will lift a little over 1,500 pounds, and it has what I call a true Category 1 3-point hitch. That's another reason I went with this. Some of the, pretty much all of the subcompacts have a modified Category 1 3-point hitch, and it's constricted. There's nothing wrong with it. It works, and there's thousands and thousands of attachments out there for them. But you can go on Craigslist or some kind of tractor sale and buy old implements, and they will work on this. This tractor has 18 PTO horsepower, a little bit over 18. And I'll tell you one thing I know, because different tractors' engines have different torque bands, this 18 horsepower is a lot more than some of the other tractors, like 20 horsepower. Their torque bands are in the wrong place for the PTO. And this thing run a wood chipper that was chipping up 4-inch logs, and it just powered right through it, even broke some shear bolts. I'm going to show you the sight glass on the hydraulic system. I've got the quick connect hooked up onto the back of the PTO. Right here is the sight glass, and what will happen is that when you come from the factory, this fluid is so clear and so clean you can't see it. It's full, but if you want to make sure that it is full, raise your loader all the way up into the up position, and you'll see the fluid drops down to the middle. It's still, with the loader all the way in the up position, it's well above full. If you're like me, you have a garage that doesn't have anything but a 7-foot door. So you're going to have to take these off to put it in and put the roll bar down. It's probably one of the easiest roll bars to roll down that I've ever seen. You can also, if you want to run with it in the down position, there's a place here to put the pins back and hold it in place. To Put the roll bar back up. It's just as easy. Put the pin through. Put the clip in. Same thing on the other side. On the left side of the tractor below the steering wheel, the inside lever you just pull out, and it has a hydraulic cylinder that opens the hood up for you. On the left side of the tractor, as you're sitting on it, here is the dipstick for the engine, and here is the oil filter. The front of the tractor, you have the radiator cap. You can check your fluids here. Also, you have a standard interstate battery and the fuel filter over to the left. Make sure you keep the front of the radiator clean. There's a little screen here on the front that you can time to time pull out or just wipe it down. On the right side of the engine, as you're sitting on the tractor, at the very front of the engine, this is your engine, the oil fill. This engine is, like I said before, it's a Cook J engine, and there's nothing electronic on it. There's none of the regeneration system on it. Now, I will say this, that most companies have got the regeneration figured out now, but this is just a very, very simple engine that was going to probably last me the rest of my life. Also on the right side of your engine, where the on the front axle is your oil check point. And we'll go ahead and take this off for you. There's a dipstick in here. I really like that feature. Let's take a look up under the seat. Up under the seat is the feel for the transmission. Like I said earlier, there is a sight glass on the back, but when you go to fill hydraulic fluid in transmission, this is where you'll do it. Right between your legs on the tractor, I forgot to mention this before, there's a knob that sticks out. This controls how fast down your PTO drops. Like if you're having a tiller and you come to end of the row and you pick it up and you turn around and go back in, you don't want your tiller to slam into the ground, so you can control how fast it drops. There's a common thing that happens on all tractors is people will push their foot on this and they'll keep touching it by accident and they'll close this valve off. And then all of a sudden, the 3-point hitch won't go down and they think there's a problem with their tractor. They'll call their dealer and then they'll say, hey, you know, my 3-point hitch is stuck in that position. What's wrong? What's going on? And the dealer will always go, hey, look between your legs, turn that valve, and let the pressure go. So you'll unlock it, and the 3-point hitch will fall. That's going to wrap up our walk around of the TYM T264. If I missed something, or if there's something else that you're interested in and want to see, let us know in the comments below, and I'll try to put it in a later video. Y'all stay tuned, and we're going to put the grapple on this. We're going to put the third function valve kit on this tractor. I'm excited about that. Hey, I really appreciate you watching our channel. If you like what we do, hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Hit the little bell notification. It lets you know when we put out something new. God bless and have a great day.